episode. We are going to be doing another game episode.
Game episode 3
this week. Is it 3 already?
It's 3. This is third in the series.
Third in the series. All right. So we are going to be going back and forth with some Halloween trivia. First off, I gotta ask though, Taggart, what are you guys dressing up? What's the plans for the fams on Halloween?
For Halloween, we're gonna dress like things. My son is gonna
Things 1 and 2, pretty classic costume.
You know, it's not bad if there's only 2 of you. There is more of us. We are. My son is gonna be a shark.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He told us quite early on that he wanted to be a shark, and we stumbled on a costume for him. And funny enough, he said at the same time that his little sister was going to be a flamingo. And
he dictated her costume?
Yep.
Okay, and as you do.
As an older brother does. Kind of
before
bossy.
She can talk. Before she can really talk.
Oh, just in general. He said that she was going to be a flamingo, and we, funny enough, found a flamingo costume at the same time we found the shark costume. So my wife was going to make them, but then she found these 2 just kind of serendipitously and said, nope, yoink, and bought them instead.
Oh, all right.
So I think that I'm supposed to be a lion. Again, my son dictated for us as well.
Oh, and so he's just going around the menagerie here.
Exactly.
Naming his favorite animals.
Naming animals, and I forgot what my wife was going to be. Also an animal, but I don't remember in the moment. Put me on the spot. No, I don't remember.
Huh.
Anyways.
Right.
So yeah, we're going to be, your run of the meal
you're shark, lion, flamingo.
Exactly. The classic troop of wild animals.
Yes.
The guys that hang out together.
We're Fantasia-esque, except I think only
none of those.
Is the only thing
right.
I'm thinking of. But
right.
Those ostriches would be huge compared to those hippos, man. I mean, like, those ostriches would be huge. Anyway, maybe it's Fantasia 2000. I don't know. I haven't seen either of those in forever.
You're talking about the crocodile hippo dance.
Yeah, but aren't there ostriches in that as well? I thought they were like the ballerinas because they got the long legs and they got the tutu-esque with the feathers and.
That might be in there as well, but the hippos are also ballerinas because they got little tutus on, and then the
crocodiles are also
got the capes and the and whatnot. It's been a minute.
Yes,
it's been a minute since I saw the classic Fantasia that almost bankrupted the Disney Corporation. But anyways,
all right, so. For us for Halloween, we did a half marathon called the Haunted Half.
How did you do?
Not bad. I think 11:44 was our average pace. So
nice.
2 hours and 33 minutes ish, which it was not easy, but it was good. But we went costumed. As it were, and we wanted something recognizable yet runnable,
right?
So we were supposed to do it also with a couple of friends, and so we were gonna go as the Mystery Machine Gang.
Yes, you were Shaggy and she was Velma. I remember.
Yes,
from the picture.
And so we were in a costume contest with other couples. There was about like 6 couples, and she was going down the line and naming everybody. And then she got to us, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna have to help me out." I'm like, "We're Shaggy and Velma from Scooby Doo." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, of course." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is kind of. It's not generic, but I mean, it is just you're wearing a green V-neck with maroon pants and a yellow shirt and a red skirt. Like, I mean, I could, you know. Anyway, I did have the scraggly goatee though.
Yeah.
Which carving that thing in, because it's that U. It goes like from one corner of his lip into this thing right over his chin, back to the other corner of his lip, like an upside down mustache. And and it was gross.
Did you say yoinks a lot? Or
Zoinks?
Zoinks?
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, we should have had like a thing of Scooby snacks, like a prop of Scooby snacks, but I didn't want to carry that for 13 miles.
Well, every time somebody passed you, you should have said zoinks, and then we're like, huh?
Yeah,
but it was minds.
It was a lot of fun. So, yeah. All right.
Nice.
Are you ready?
Okay.
To have your mind ripped open and exposed to the zombie horde that is this trivia quiz.
Well, I mean, if you put it that way.
Sounds like you're into it.
Sure, let's go.
All right. Okay, so yeah, we just pulled a couple of fun factoronies from the interweb. I cross-checked a couple of them, so they're decently accurate. One of them actually had... it was a list of facts and it had sources. So kudos to them. Like, yeah, I mean, I didn't cross-check the sources, but whatever. All right. There were 13 questions for this haunted quiz.
That's fitting.
Okay. Question number 1.
Yes, sir.
How many pounds of candy are purchased in America every year for Halloween?
Yikes, dude!
I will give you I'll give you a little bit of a parameter. How many hundreds of millions of pounds?
How many hundreds of millions of pounds?
Yes.
So it's definitely between 100 million and 999 million.
Yes, between 100 million and a billion.
Almost a billion, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I will say 1 billion million.
Thank you. I really appreciate you narrowing it down for me. I don't know. I would get. My guess is 700 million.
Close. It is 600 million pounds.
Oh,
that was very close.
I was only 100 million off. That's not bad.
That's not bad. 600 million pounds of candy. That is per every person. You think about, that's almost 2 pounds of candy per person.
That's crazy.
That's including like babies.
Babies love their sweets, man.
And old people with their Werther's Originals. They're ribbon candy. I don't know if you can get ribbon candy at Halloween, but still.
Yeah, that's more Christmas.
Some hard candy.
I love that candy corn.
Yes.
Ribbon candy. That's my favorite.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay. So, still thinking about, that Halloween candy.
Okay.
How much does the average family spend on candy each year for Halloween?
How much money?
How much money? So think about if you're at the store and you're like, oh man, we got to stock up before these kiddies start gonna egg us and everything. How much would you spend at the store for your candy stash?
See, I don't think I would spend that much. I think that it would be higher than what I would spend.
Okay, so take what you spend and double it for the average person. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems fair. I would $60.
$60. Man, you probably actually then spend the average. It is about $25.
Okay.
So you're
I
right
thought-
there in the middle range with about
that's-
30 to 25 to $30.
Okay, I totally thought that I was way skimping, but okay.
So there you go. Now you don't have to feel bad. Now
I-
you know that those kids can expect the same at your house as if they went to any other house in America.
Well, now I know that I could buy half and just give them less.
Right. I could still skimp on them. I could buy the mini size, no longer the fun size.
That's right.
But that's $2.6 billion in candy. $2.6 billion in
Wow.
candy for one night. That's
One night of frights.
yes. All right, but we're not just buying candy, right? I mean, you just said you got to get costumes.
Right.
And do you guys decorate? This isn't a trivia question.
I was like,
Question number 3: do you decorate?
I'm like, whoa, this is a trick question. How does he know? No, we have. We definitely have.
Because I'm the eyes behind the painting.
We don't. Ooh. We don't have any decorations up this year.
Okay.
Really, some pumpkins, but that's about it.
How do you feel about the inflatable lawn stuff making its way into Halloween?
It's not inflatable things aren't spooky. I'm
Fair.
sorry.
Okay.
Just because if you have a fan balloon ghost out in your front lawn, just because you add the spooky music, I'm not scared of the ghost. The sounds
Right.
are going to get me, but that ghost has got nothing, you know? My fate. So, this takes a little work, but I had some good things back in the day. Not Foley decorations, but some demonstration type things that really scared people. I had some decent ones.
Do you remember that time when we found that I don't know what you call it, like the mask that you can see out but they can't see, like it's all just a black screen to them and everything, and and we sat you on the hay bale that my mom house had.
Dude, that was one of the best.
That was the best.
That was one of the best. So I dressed up like a scarecrow basically, and I wore that mask that, it's like almost like lycra or whatever, but I could see out, but they just looked like I had like a blank face. I put one of my legs in my pants, knee first, so that I could tie it off.
Yeah,
so it looks like I didn't have a leg. So
you're sitting on your leg. You're sitting on your foot.
Right.
So it's just your knee is bent, but it's in your pant leg, and
into
so we
the
tied
pant
it.
And tie it off.
We tied it right there at the knee, so you couldn't see that.
I'm trying to dispel any disbelief as best I could that I was a real person.
Yeah, gloves, like we had the gardener's gloves and everything.
And I would sit really still, but the door would be open, and we had candy just sitting in a bowl, just inside the door. So they had to come up, and I didn't try to scare any real little kids, but they'd come up and they'd be really wary of me, and they'd look at the candy and they'd look at me, and I'm just watching this whole thing. And they're trying to decide, well, can I grab one, or can I get all of them, or whatever, and they would start reaching in, and I'd say, only take one, or something, something like that. And they're like,
Well, and then Sean and I were on the roof, and we had that other scarecrow thing, like tied off. And so we would, as they turned around, we would throw that off the roof, so it would just hang itself right in front of them and everything. And it was ridiculous and fun.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
That was one of the best. That's one of the times I was referring to. So you got to put some effort into it if you really want your yard to be spooky. And these inflatable, Jack Skellingtons, aren't fooling nobodies.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, because that's exactly outside the window right now. It's one of those Jack skeletons sitting on a gravestone.
Is it really?
Headstone thing. Yeah,
Dude,
exactly, 100%.
I'm too smart for this.
Yes. Okay, so with all those decorations and costumes and all that kind of different stuff, how many $1 billion?
Oh my gosh.
How many $1 billion does the U.S. spend on that each year?
How much did you say the candy was? 2.5
2.6.
2.6 billion?
Billion, yeah.
And that's just candy. So with everything else,
Yes.
what 6
Mhm.
6 billion? That's my guess.
So you're adding six billion to that?
No. Just because you're saying all together.
Yes, all together.
Yeah, 6.
6. Oh, okay. Well, if you add those together, it's about 8.8 billion. So
dang it.
yeah. So you're in the ballpark.
That's a big jump from candy to
costumes.
To costumes and decorations.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about it like, even just buying that shirt and pants for me was, a good $30.
Yeah.
And that's if you're buying a kid's costume, that's got to be at least $20
I guess you're right. If I just doubled it, which a costume would cost more, that would have been
right.
$5. And then to say just 6 more, yeah. Okay, I could see it. I didn't do the logic well enough in my brain.
Okay, so last numbers question here.
Oh, yay, my favorite.
Yes, okay.
Love the numbers.
So the average bag of candy that one child will collect on Halloween contains how many calories?
How many calories?
How many calories?
Oh, fart nugget.
How many thousands of calories?
How many thousands of calories? It's got to be high. Caloric intake average, as suggested, is what, 2,000?
Yeah, so 2,000. So you think about if you ate an entire bag of candy, how many times over would you
be
And for a child, you'd be many times over.
Yeah. I think it's got to be what?
You heft in that bag.
Just 16,000 calories or something crazy like that.
That's pretty close.
Is it really?
It's 11, 10 to 11,000.
Okay.
So 5 times a adult.
An adult's caloric intake.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If you're eating nothing but candy, and apparently the majority of it is chocolate. So chocolate is the big big thing. And I think that's not kind of great that Halloween is when it is, unless you're in southern Florida or something hot like that. But you can get chocolate and it's not going to be like this melted mess.
Right.
By the end of the night. Or whatever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it really just kickstarts you for all that food you got to eat in Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's so. As far as chocolate goes, this is just one of the statistics. It outdoes all the other major holidays in chocolate sales, even Christmas and Valentine's Day and Easter.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, but it's still crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Halloween, man, giving us diabetes.
Yeah, one 11,000 thing at a time, 11,000 bags at a time. All right, what famous Halloween candy was originally called chicken feed?
It's got to be candy corn.
Candy corn is correct. Yes. I want to know how well that would be selling today if chicken feed was still Probably the sales would be exactly the same.
This may be a false memory, but I have a faint glimmer of that, of hearing somebody call it that when I was a small child. And again,
you got yourself some chicken feed there, son. You're like, what?
Right. It was in an Irish accent. That's right. Oh, you got yourself some chicken feed there,
eh?
Oh, blimey. Sorry to all the Irish people who listen to this. Which statistically is 0 at the moment. Anyways, well, I mean, historically, not actually from Ireland. They might have Irish backgrounds, like myself.
Like us both.
That's right. Yeah, man, candy corn. Do you like the candy corn?
I mean, Lewis Black's bit about candy corn could not be any more accurate.
Right.
Where, like, every year you take a bite of it and you're like, oh yeah, this stuff's not that good. And they're trying to branch out now. Like, they got the pumpkins and they got the different colors and all this kind of different stuff. And you're just like, yeah, I mean, it's just not a good texture or flavor or nothing. Like, those pumpkins are the worst. Like, a piece of candy corn, fine with that. But, like, those pumpkins is too much.
Yeah.
It's too gritty. I don't know. Yeah, not a fan.
Mix a little candy corn with some peanuts.
Okay. Little bridge mix?
That's not bad.
All right.
You never had candy corn and peanuts?
I can say that I have seen candy corn and peanuts together, but I don't know if I've ever taken a handful and just, popped them in there. But I could see that working, maybe.
It's all right. I would say that candy corn's not my go-to. If you got something else, I'm going to eat that. But, I mean, I'd eat your candy corn if you offered it to me.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't gripe about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, Lewis Black's old thing, he's just like, it's like an Alzheimer's patient. Every year. Corn! That tastes like candy. So good. All right. What classic Halloween decoration was on display for the Guinness Book of World Record when they had 30,581 of these all at once?
What?
So
you lost me a little bit on that question. Say that again.
Yeah. Okay. So you're thinking of a Guinness Book of World Records, right? So it's a big number. So 30,500 of these.
These decorations.
Yes. What classic Halloween decoration did they have 30,581 of?
Jack-o'-lanterns.
Yes! 30,000 jack-o'-lanterns.
That's a lot of pumpkins in one place.
That is, and like, you got to think, like, Guinness has got their standards, so it's got to be like, they got to be carved, they got to be recognizable, and I wouldn't even put it past them to be like, and they all have to be lit at the same time for 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. I wonder, you think, that's not a traditional pumpkin patch, but if the Great Pumpkin didn't come there that night, he don't exist. He doesn't exist.
If we didn't see the Great Pumpkin, I swear to you, this is gonna happen. But yeah, like, and I love the random numbers of those kind of things where it's just like you couldn't get 80, 500 and like 90 or 600, like, you just 81.
We really tried, but this is all we could scrape together. This is as many people as we know.
Like, one guy's just like, I got the last one. He just trips, and it's just like, no.
Some guy's trying to be a hero, carrying 4 pumpkins, and he drops all of them.
Yeah, I guess we're rounding down. Thanks a lot, Jim.
Oh, it definitely would have been Jim. Gosh, dang it.
All right. What classic horror movie
Ooh, okay.
was originally titled Babysitter Murders.
Babysitter Murders?
Babysitter Murders.
I'm not a big horror guy, so I'm afraid that I should probably have an inkling of what this is.
You should have an inkling just from the nature of this quiz, but yes.
No, I understand that, and that's what I thought. That was my initial thought, right? But I honestly don't know if I've ever seen that movie. But it's got to be Halloween.
It is 1978's Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis.
So is she a babysitter? Is that what's happening in that movie?
Yeah. I'm
and
pretty sure. Yes.
She doesn't murder.
No.
Obviously, it's Mike Myers, right?
Michael Myers, yes.
Michael Myers. Right. Mike Myers, funny Canadian. Michael Myers.
Stabby. Yes. Couple of fun facts about the movie Halloween.
Yes.
It was filmed in just 21 days.
Not bad.
A lot of just him walking around, really. Like, he's like kind of the beginning of this whole, like, I just catch up to you.
Right.
Like you lock yourself in a closet. That's the stupidest thing you could do because even though I'm just walking, I could still get to you, kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sound of the stabbing in the movie was a knife being plunged into a watermelon.
I think I'd heard that before. That sounds familiar.
Little Foley action, Foley artists.
Oh yeah, we got love for the Foleys.
You got to think that, like, I would love to interview a Foley artist.
Yeah,
and really, like, maybe even just like classic Foley artists. Like somebody that worked on, I mean, this is going way back, but like an epic movie like Ben-Hur or something, where it's just like, oh my gosh, you have no idea how many people we had like banging coconuts, together, and like all this kind of different stuff, and how did you come up with this sound and stuff like that? Because I imagine that nowadays a lot of stuff is established. You got your celery breaks, you got your like scraping a pipe for like getting a sword out. You got your slapping meat for punches and stuff like that. Like all these kind of different things. But what is it like to come up with a new sound?
Actually finding those.
Yeah. And like, are you really just kind of like at the grocery store, just like, buying all the produce,
watermelons.
Yeah, like buying all the produce,
sir,
and being
I hope you're
like,
going to be purchasing those watermelons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's just like peach doesn't do it for me. Let's see here. Let's try this. Oh, okay. I can get behind that. And like, aside from that, also just being there, observing the world around you, and just being like, okay, so this is what it sounds like when, somebody actually, falls over, or somebody actually, like a car actually crashes or something like that,
Right.
Like, that would be interesting. Anyway, we should find somebody.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be
like,
cool. That'd be really cool.
Find a legendary Foley artist, the person that everybody looks up to. All right. Speaking of looking up, Mike Myers is, notoriously tall. Michael Myers, excuse me.
Thank you.
So this next question is, Michael Myers' mask is an actual mask of what famous actor of the time?
Oh, no, I knew this.
So I would say think about it, but like it's obviously very distorted. They painted it white and they carved out the eye holes a little bit more.
I I don't remember. I have heard this. I know I have, and
take a stab, pun intended.
Is it? It's not Hitchcock.
Nope. You want another guess? It's no, that's not going to help you. I was going to say that this just lined up in my head because it was black and white, but the clue I was going to give you was he was on a very famous episode of The Twilight Zone. But that's just because I thought, oh, Hitchcock did not do The Twilight Zone. I don't know why. I'm just black and whiting things together.
Right. Stabbing. I don't.
Oh no, sorry. Stabbing was more of the
Pun from
reference.
Michael Myers. I thought that was a hint. Dang it! That's why when Hitchcock, I was like, Psycho.
No. Think a little more out of this world, or beyond. I don't know. That's terrible. Those are terrible clues.
Is it?
Think.
It's not
beyond. Oh,
it's not Shatner, is it?
Yes, it is William Shatner. Really? Yes.
They're
only terrible clues if they don't work, but they worked. So you redeemed my clues.
You got me there. Yeah.
Yes. So a William Shatner mask, which I'm sure he's very proud of.
That's hilarious.
Which he kind of looks a little bit like that now. Not gonna lie.
Yikes.
But yeah. So William Shatner mask, and I mean, I could easily see a killer finding a mask and just painting it white, making it look a little creepier and wandering around. Yeah. The craziest thing about Halloween to me is it's one of the first movies I can think of where the sequel picks up literally right after the first movie.
Oh, really? It's just like a continuation.
Yes. I mean, spoiler alert for this very old movie. This 40-year-old movie, but Mike Myers falls over a balcony, and then it the cop or whoever it is looks over and he's just gone. And then in the movie Halloween 2 just picks up right there, and you get his view again as he is going through the bushes and trying to find Jamie Lee Curtis again. So
crazy.
It actually kind of makes it interesting because you think of other movies like Scream 2 and stuff where they get a little bit of a breather. It's not this again. It's oh no, this is still the same night.
This now.
This you think I haven't seen. No, Jamie Lee Curtis is now going through all of this over again the same night.
So you're saying horror movies that do that, or are you saying movies in general that you can think of?
I can't think of anything where it picks up immediately besides Back to the Future, I guess.
Star Trek 2, 3, and 4, buddy. Speaking of Shatner.
Well, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan goes right into Search for Spock, goes right into Journey Home.
That is very true. There you go. Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. Spoiler alerts for those, I guess.
Bringing it back to Shatner. I mean, not really. If you haven't
just
seen
know
it,
that you are not done. You have watched Wrath of Khan, and you are not done.
Yeah, you better make it all the way to the Wales,
you are having to Lord of the Rings this together.
Yeah, except there's no extended edition, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. But Lord of the Rings, there's a pretty sizable break. All right, moving on. All right, so ready for the next question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. The first jack-o'-lanterns were made from what vegetable? So what can you carve, basically?
First jack-o'-lanterns were made from what vegetable?
Yes.
Again,
I might have asked these in a different order, but I don't think it really matters because then it would have just given you a totally different answer. So I'm glad I've answered it this way. I'm backing up my statement. Vegetable.
So it's still a vegetable.
Yes.
But maybe a specific type of vegetable.
Well, yes.
Obviously a very specific type. But I mean like even a more specific subtype of vegetable.
Well, if I asked you, and we'll get to that question, but if I asked you one of the next questions and then asked you this, I can guarantee what your answer would be. So,
I'd just go right for it, huh?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, I again want to say that I have known this at a former time in my life.
When you were first carving jack-o'-lanterns, you're like, man,
you know what would be harder on? Not a pumpkin.
Yes.
I don't know. A good guess is not coming to my brain.
What if I gave you it is a root vegetable?
See, but now that's what I thought.
Wow. You were halfway there.
So
you were digging for it.
Oh, nice. I want there's so many root vegetables.
What are you thinking, man? Just start throwing them out there. Just start dropping them in the grocery store.
I want to say, I don't know, turnips.
Turnip is right.
That was not my initial instinct. I had to work through some root vegetables to get to turnip, my friend. And I was like, this seems, a rutabaga is bigger than a turnip, but
well, can be, yes.
Usually, right?
You're like parsnips, but everybody would be like such long faces. I don't know.
Well, I can't, because I must have known it was a root vegetable in my subconscious, because I just kept going to carrot, and I was like, there's no way it's carrot.
No way. What if it was a really fat carrot?
Why?
What if it was like a really fat carrot?
I guess, but how do you get in the middle out of a carrot? I don't know. Like,
oh yeah. Well, like they do have like that core. Like if you ever like when you're like eating baby carrots,
but
you chew and just have like the little core and everything.
Yeah, but unless you're like corking it out or something,
Oh yeah, you're not getting the middle out of
drilling the core out.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I should try it.
I did make a jack-o'-lantern out of a giant grape once.
What?
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. Like this time of year, grapes get like huge. Like I'm talking like $50 like diameters.
Yeah. So what did it have seeds in it so you could like pull it out easier? Or?
Yeah, so I literally I cut off the top. It had like a little stem and everything, so I cut off the top.
Yeah.
And then I because the inside of the grape, yeah, you got the seeds, but the middle has that kind of looser texture to it, right?
Okay.
So I kind of hollowed it out a little bit, and I took a little paring knife and I carved the little triangle eyes and like a little jack-o'-lantern squiggly grin, and it's on my Facebook. I'll post it on Twitter.
Yeah, do it
for you guys, and it looks pretty. Instagrams. I mean, it's the grape pumpkin.
Nice.
But
did you get a light? Did you get a light in it somehow?
I got a light behind it, and so it just shines through because it permeates both.
Nice.
So yeah, it worked really well.
Nice.
So, yep. I was at a very awkward Halloween party, and that was.
And you're like, "This is my activity.
This is what I am doing to make it fun because I don't drink." So
fair.
Yeah. So yeah, good job. Turnips, nice. Way to pull that one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But
you're welcome. Oh, the root vegetable puns are killing me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What Halloween tradition was first documented in Alberta, Canada in 1927? Blackie, Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
What Halloween tradition? So what are you doing on Halloween?
Well, I mean, there's the obvious guess, but I kind of think it's not that because I think that's older.
Okay.
So my guess is bobbing for apples.
No. Bobbing for apples is incorrect. What is your obvious guess?
Trick or treating.
Yes. Trick or treating.
I thought that was way too obvious, though.
No.
And I thought that was really young for that tradition. That seems really young.
It is a little. It is weird, but according to some of the other things I found, interesting. You said bobbing for apples because bobbing for apples actually dates back to the original, like, kind of pagan rituals in Rome.
Okay.
A lot of it is centered around apples and the harvest there and stuff like that. So that actually dates back, thousands of years. And so it's kind of interesting that
trick or treating. Interesting.
Yeah, that you were like, oh well, the old one is
the newer one.
It's
yeah,
newer. But
okay.
But yeah, that's it. So trick or treating. Well, it was first documented trick or treating. So
say that again.
It was first mentioned as trick or treating.
Oh, okay.
So they might have gone and collected stuff, before,
prior.
But the actual term, I believe, was first noted in 1927.
All right, that makes more sense to my brain.
Yeah, but that's still old, man. Like,
I mean, it is old. It's almost 100 years old now. Do you know what the next year we're going to be in the new 20s?
The new 20s, is that what they call it?
That's what I'm calling it.
Done. Coin it, man. Done. The new 20s.
The new 20s, buddy.
The new 20s.
Well,
the
come
2020s.
On. It can't be. I mean, you could say the 2020s, but then we all have to be Barbara Walters, and I don't think we need that for the whole year or the whole decade.
Decade.
Rather.
What about the aughts?
See, I was not a fan. I was never a fan of calling it the aughts. Yeah. I don't call it that. Maybe I don't refer to that decade at all. I don't know.
Maybe I just forgot. Nope. Don't have a nomenclature. We are just abandoning from 2000 to 2009.
But
sorry.
I don't know. Unless you can find a better pun off the Roaring '20s.
Right.
For the new 20s. You know what I mean?
New 20s, yeah.
Something that rhymes with roaring but is better and suitable for this day and age.
Hopefully it's not the boring 20s.
Oh, killed it.
Anyway, I am punning all over the place here.
But the new 20s, I like the new 20s, It's just a new modern time, just like the 20s was back in the day.
It was modern then, and it's modern now.
More new modern now. Welcome to the new 20s.
It kills me that there is a post-modern art movement or era or whatever.
Right.
It's just like, can you ever really be? It's just like that means that like we are postmodern. You cannot say you're a modern person unless you're referring to yourself in the past. I don't know. Anyway.
It's a style of art, modern art. I get it. But
it's somebody was too trigger happy, is what I'm saying. somebody was too trigger happy on saying, "Oh my gosh, this is modern art. Shouldn't we come up with something else? Because this isn't the end all be all of art." And it's just like, nope, I have coined it. It is such. And it's just like, okay. And then it's like, it's like saying current art or
right.
Present art.
Well, that's the thing,
like,
right?
Yeah.
It's like calling, I don't know, next Wednesday, not next Wednesday, but in 2 weeks.
Right. What? The gauntlet has been thrown. All right. Let's get back to the quiz.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This island nation is typically believed to be the birthplace of Halloween?
Easter Island. No.
Oh, okay.
It's a joke.
Why do we call it Halloween Island? Such a missed opportunity.
Exactly. It's a different holiday, but an island. I thought it was quite good. Sorry if it was too deadpan that you couldn't pick up on.
I was like, oh, okay.
No. So what island is generally said
seen as the birthplace?
To be the birthplace of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Are you wrestling something on your end?
Oh, you hear? Oh, that was yes. Sorry. That's my actual headphone microphone. That
okay.
It's not going to get picked up on the thing. Anyways, sorry about that. I fidget when I can't think.
I know. I've got stuff too that I'm like been playing with, and it probably very minutely gets picked up on, and I'm like, I gotta stop touching that. Like,
there was one week I had a pen, and I was just like,
don't click it.
I must have got some Foley action a lot on this one. Just
don't
not,
click it.
Just
don't
subconsciously,
click it.
I was like, oh no. Island. I can't think of an island that I equate to Halloween.
So think of like the Druids and the the pagan aspects, all Halloween.
Drew and his ids.
Drew and the Wizard of Id get together.
It all started because this one guy Drew, and he had problems with his id. And
yeah, he was very, very into himself.
That's right. And he's like, I'm gonna start a whole thing. We'll call it Druids. I mean, okay, so I was kind of already thinking about Druids, but I can't. Atlantis. No, I don't know. I can't. I think you might get me on this one. I don't even have a good guess. Sicily. No, I have no idea. Cyprus. I have no idea.
Jeez, man. You were just island hopping all over the place.
The Seychelles. Is it a British Isle somewhere?
Are you great
England.
stomping?
England. The island of England.
It is
Scotland.
Ireland.
Ireland is not an island. I mean, it's on an island, but it's not the island.
I said island nation. They're a nation people, and back then they were definitely together.
No, that's fair.
Right.
Oh, I guess it is its own island. It's just separate right now.
Yes.
You're right. I'm wrong. I've never been. Sorry.
Neither have I. But this is the one that I was like, oh, if I had asked this before the turnip question, then you probably
would have said
potatoes. Exactly.
But I thought potatoes too, and I was just like, you can't reasonably carve a potato.
You can carve a potato into anything, man. We used to make stamps out of potatoes.
Wait, huh?
Like you cut a potato in half, like horde.
Oh, I'm thinking of a cooked potato. I am an idiot.
Yeah, and you carve whatever you want, like a paw print or a flower or whatever, into the potato on the flat, whatever you cut out, and then you dip it in an ink pad, and then boom, bam, boom. It's the easiest way to make a stamp.
I'm just thinking, dude, the insides are all mushy, so you'd pull it all out, and then you just have skin. Like what?
First, you bake the potato, just like you cook the pumpkin.
Oh my gosh, I am on point tonight.
Baked potato carving.
Gracious.
Yeah.
It was definitely on the Seychelles, and they carved cooked pumpkin, potatoes, cooked pumpkins too. Goodness,
that'd be so gross.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm good.
I think you can redeem yourself with this one. This
Okay.
one's, yeah. This one's a little bit more in your wheelhouse. So, in Belleville, Missouri,
Okay.
it is illegal to ask for candy over what age? So once you're over this age, you're not allowed to trick or treat anymore.
You can't go trick or treating by law.
Yes.
Holy cow.
So when should you give up trick or treating, basically?
Well, I mean that's up for debate. Well,
in Belleville.
Not in Belleville, but 14.
I'm going to give it to you because when you are 14, you are not allowed to trick or treat anymore. So, yes. So if you are, it says if you're over 13. So 14 is the cutoff.
Over 13.
Yes.
Oh, so we said the same thing in different ways.
Yes, exactly. So, do you want some more just fun laws around Halloween?
You know that I do.
Yes. In Dublin, Georgia, it is legal for anyone over the age of 16 to wear a mask or sunglasses or any other facial covering on Halloween.
Oh.
So you can't even go out there and, if you're 16, that's fine, but you can't wear a mask.
Because they're like, you're going to scare somebody.
Yes.
And we know what your type does. Mm-hmm. Your kind.
Yep. Your kind.
Your age group.
Yes. In an attempt, similar to that, in an attempt to decrease robberies and crime on Halloween, Walnut Creek, California.
Love that place. Have you been to California in the fall? It's so
California?
Nice. Yeah, it's so nice in the fall.
Mm-hmm. In Wall Creek, they banned masks without a permit. So if you wanted to
purchase a permit to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Wow. And
so
cops are around, they're like, let me see your papers, son.
Yeah.
And you're like, here. One permit for a scream mask. Okay, son, move along.
I wonder if you have to what it takes to get a permit. You gotta submit what your costume is. You gotta show it to somebody.
There's one day they're like, we do permits. One day you gotta come down to town hall dressed in your costume, put your mask on when you get there, and we will decide whether you get a permit or not. And the line's long, so as soon as quitting time's coming, if you didn't make it through, buddy, I'm sorry. You
show up early.
You got to dress as Mario or something.
Yeah, you got to face paint instead of mask.
Right.
Yeah. In Alabama, it is illegal to dress as a priest or a nun on Halloween.
In Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder how enforced that is.
I know that'd be
Padre.
Weird. Yeah. I'm not a priest. I'm a friar. All right.
Move along.
I can see the bald spot now. You're good.
He's like, I like to rob from the rich.
Yeah.
The poor. Like, we don't condone robbing from anybody.
All right, last one here.
This is last question?
Lucky number 13.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is lucky number 13. All right.
Okay.
What do you get if you divide the circumference of a jack-o'-lantern by its diameter?
If you divide... Say that again. If you divide
the circumference of a jack-o'-lantern by its diameter.
I mean, you get pie, right?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. Of course.
Of course. And that's it.
Nice.
You did really good, man. I'm
proud
of you.
Thanks. I don't think mentally as evidence here that I was all there. But I appreciate that very much. Thank you for putting these together.
Yeah, just a couple of facts for everybody. Quiz your friends. Just be safe out there.
Yes.
Whether you're trick or treating or you're on door duty. Door duty can be fun.
Yeah, buddy.
One year though, Stephanie and I just stayed at her apartment, and we got the candy. We got our $25 worth of candy. 4 trick or treaters.
Yeah, man, it's thinner and thinner.
and
People don't
now
think it's safe out there, man.
Yeah, and now it's never like there's never like a consistent time. Like sometimes people will send kids out like the Saturday night before, or what. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh well, it's a school night, and it's just like, there's certain holidays I think that you should have the day after the holiday as the holiday. You know what I mean? Like I don't think
Halloween
you should get
night. You
right.
trick or treat, but the next day is when you get off school.
Exactly. So the same thing with like New Year's. Like New Year's is the one that works out best because the celebration is New Year's Eve. Right. So you spend all New Year's Eve doing your thing up until midnight plus, and then next day you don't have to be worrying about getting to work. A lot of
people don't have to go to work, right?
Yeah, most people, yeah, exactly. So I think Halloween should follow that same thing if we got the day off, which we don't anyway. Just be like, all right, you know what, November 1st, we're just calling it as a holiday. But
well, dude, you can get that sugar, hangover for the next day. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Those kids, they're eating, 5 times as much candy as they should as an adult 1 day caloric intake. They're going to be messed up the next day.
I seriously did think about putting some questions in here on like, I dressed up as Elvis one year. What were you dressed as?
That year?
Making you just be like, oh man, I don't remember.
Like the year that you were Elvis?
Yeah.
You were young. How old were you when you were Elvis?
I was probably like 10 or 11-ish.
Okay. I might have been nothing recognizable. If it was earlier, I probably would have said a vampire, because I was a vampire quite a bit. But the year you were Elvis, I want to say I didn't have a proper costume. I just threw some things together and was like, I'm a weird guy.
Yeah, you had like that big weird jester hat.
Weird hat with like some bone skull face glasses thing and a sweatshirt inside out. And a cape.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. I think that was the year. Dude.
Oh.
Nice.
Big size candies. Are you like full size candy bars? Like
to hand out to people?
You'll be that family.
Well, you just don't get that many people to your door anymore. I think it's more feasible to say, let's get a couple of big things, of big candy bars. And some little stuff, and the first people that come by would give those out to them, and that might be it. But if you run out, then you give the little candies, and sorry if word got around. you got here late.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things is like, and maybe it is still this way, but like for Halloween and stuff like that, like. That was the time that you got like all the candy you could possibly imagine. You know what I mean? Like we didn't get candy all the time, growing up.
Right.
So it was like, you gotta get your candy, man. You gotta get that stash going and stuff. And I think people are maybe now they're just like so health conscious or whatever. They're just like, no, we can't give kids candy. Somebody on our block has peanut allergies, so we can't hand out our candy corn and peanut combo, and somebody's got celiac disease, so Twix are off, and somebody else has got some lactose intolerance, so we can't do chocolate, or it's just like, ugh, I don't even want to think about all that.
Well, you can't plan for that. So you hand it out, and it's the family's job to sift through and say, I'm sorry,
Yep.
you can't have these, you can't have
Yep.
these. We're not trying to poison your children, but like,
it's just, it is what it is.
If I only get non-chocolate, non-milk chocolate,
non-wheat
bread,
non-tree nut, like,
right, candies. Like, what do I got? Like, I got Airheads or something,
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And then it leaves all the just pure sugar candies. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here's colored sugar for you.
You get a pixie stick, dude.
The craziest thing, I think, is, or I mean, not the craziest thing, but like you said, since you don't get very many people, you now got to buy candy that you want. Like, before it was like, well, I don't want to buy candy I want. Like, I want to give away whatever.
Right.
But if you're going to be stuck with over half a bag of candy, it's like, oh man, there better be some freaking peanut butter cups in there. Like, I am not going to eat, like,
I must always be selfish because I never thought, well, I'll get some candy that other people like. I'm like, what do I like? I'll give those out, and then I can eat them while kids aren't there,
Oh, well, I'm not saying I'm selfless. I'm saying if I was going to give away a whole bag of candy, I would get candy that I don't like Dum-Dums.
You give kids Dum-Dums?
Well, yeah, I don't know, sometimes. But I mean, like, I would think about it. I'd be like, oh, if I'm going to buy a bag of good candy, I'm going to want to eat it. So right. I'm going to buy a bag of candy I don't want, so I will give that away. But now it's like, now I'm stuck with freaking 14 pounds of Dum-Dums.
Yeah.
Because you can buy 14 pounds for $25.
I understand it. I understand where you're coming from. I can't bring myself to spend money on something that I don't enjoy. Even if I'm not going to touch it and somebody else is going to eat it.
Really?
So,
all right.
No, dude. I'm like, I can't support your Dum-Dums. Like, I can't support,
Right.
I can't support Spree. I'm not buying Spree.
Spree are not great.
No, they're not.
They're just like...
They're cousins. Sweet Tarts, Shock Tarts, I'm game. But Spree, come on. Yeah. Try a little harder.
Just because you cover yourself in a harder coating of harder coating doesn't make you any better.
No, dude. I've never, never in my whole life thought, you know what I could go for? A Spree. Never. So there's this conflict though on Halloween where I sit there and watch all the candy leave my house and say, leave me some good stuff. Leave me some good stuff. And then when they keep grabbing the good stuff, I'm like, gosh dang it, children. I know what you like.
Ooh,
it's
the
same thing that I like. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, a little bit. I usually, again, nowadays you just don't get that many. So it's just like, don't just grab a piece of candy. Grab a handful of candy and get out of here. There's,
right.
So.
And that's another, kind of game is
get out of here, kid. You bottom.
Yeah. It's the ration. Like you said, like maybe you give you buy like a box of like 5 big sized candy bars and you give them to the first, couple of kids and then the rest, kind of trickle through. But, and you shut off your light, once you're out of candy
once you're done,
whatever. But yeah, I mean, I do remember the times when it was a little bit of a rationing thing where you're like, oh man, we are not going to have enough candy. We're like, it's like 7:45. And
right.
other times when you're like, oh my gosh, we have like two bags we haven't even opened.
Yeah, you're
like take as much as you want.
10 pieces of candy. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, when they take it, I expect those kids to get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
But yeah. How long would your candy last you?
Ooh, ooh, man. My aunt made us like these really awesome bags that were like, nice handles and everything. Like those were some sturdy. So I guarantee we had over 11,000 calories in there. And so I'm trying to think, because I mean, then that's all the pictures of us at Halloween is the candy trade.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just the kids with their mounds of candy and just bartering, like Arab traders, just like sitting there being like, all right, I
know you need this. You have to cross desert.
Yeah, exactly. I will give you 6 fun-sized Snickers and this can of soda I got for your full-size Crunch Bar. It's like, ooh, six fun size. Come on, 6 fun size is definitely equals a full size. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, you don't even like Crunch Bars. Well, that's not really the issue here.
Like, I have something you want.
Yeah. Now, what if you throw in two backs of Nerds? You're like, oh, come on, man. I got my Nerds for me.
Tell you what, I'll give you the 2 box of Nerds.
You take
all of this.
You trade
orange and black peanut butter candy. If you take all of it as well, I'll make that trade.
That's what your like mom would take. And then you got the parents taffy. Just like coming in with their survey of everything, and you got to do like a 3-way trade where you're like, all right, you give your Almond Joys and your Mounds.
Right.
It's like to Paige, and she'll give you all her Nerds, and then you'll have extra Nerds to spare, and then we can maybe make this deal happen. Just like brokering this whole.
Come back to me when you have more Nerds.
Exactly. So, good times. So,
but then you didn't really ask my question. Like,
right.
Yeah, how long do you think?
How long did I think it lasted? I think it would last probably a week at most.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking too, like kind of Easter time as well. Like you don't get as much candy, and Easter was like 4 days. I could see a good 7, maybe 8 or 9 days of candy. I can't see it going into like a full second week though.
Interesting.
I don't think.
There were definitely times that I still had some candy come the new year.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
And I like candy.
Yeah.
So I want to say it was mostly the crappy ones that I didn't really want, that I would eat one every now and then, and it would just take a while for it to all go away. But no, I definitely remember times where that bag of candy sat by my bed for a long time.
Dang,
before
man.
It was all gone.
No, we had the bags packed up with the Halloween costumes and stuff, so it was kind of just open, and you had to eat it or else somebody else was going to get to it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't remember us sticking it out for very long. Man, well, good kudos to you on that. That is some self-control right there.
Like I said, I don't know
how
I don't know how much self-control it really was versus I don't really want to eat these peanut butter taffies, but
yeah.
But I'll keep them and I'll keep working my way through them until they're gone.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I only ate the candy that I liked, and then everything else I just threw away.
Yeah.
Because there's some candy out there that you're just like meh. But I do remember, getting full cans of soda.
Yeah, man.
And full size candy bars every once in a while, and the best though. I don't know if we talked about this, but the best was one year I went as a patient. My mom just brought a bunch of stuff home from the hospital, a gown, and we had bandages and stuff. But she brought me a sterile urinal. like that you would use to go to the bathroom,
like a
from
bedpan.
But like a bedpan, exactly.
Yeah.
And it would have been awesome if it was a bedpan, but those are reused and not just like pitched, right? So she couldn't really snake one. But that's what I collected my candy in. So I would just go and I would just hold that. I'd be like, trick or treat, and hold that up, and people were like, oh. I'm just like, don't worry, it's clean. And they would put it in there, and then I would dump it in my bag. But
I haven't been sick in years. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well,
very good.
Well, happy Halloween to everybody out there.
Happy Halloween.
Get your costumes going. I mean, don't be a humbug for Halloween. That's just
no one likes a Halloween humbug.
Yeah,
that's what I've always said.
It's just fun. I mean, group costumes are the best. I mean,
it's good.
Yeah, you gotta do what you need. If you want, like, get a group of friends together, pick your favorite actor, and everybody go as different, characters from that same actor.
Different iterations of that.
Yeah. That's always fun stuff.
That would be good.
Yeah. But
different Jeff Goldblums.
Ooh, that would be good. Who gets the
one.
Fly? No, who gets Earth Girls Are Easy? That blue that blue furry monster thing. Dibs for days. I would totally be that Jeff Goldblum.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Have a good happy Halloween, good Day of the Dead, all that good stuff.
Enjoy all of it.
Huh. All right. Night, everybody.
Night. Thanks.
Bye.